Hey, Click Millionaires, it's Scott Fox. It's great to see you. Today we're going to talk about AmishPhoto.com. As you can see, we've got some beautiful cows looking at us here from friendly Amish country in a hidden valley in central Pennsylvania, where photographer Bill Coleman has made a 40-year career of taking photographs of the Amish people. Today we're going to be talking about this website and its updated brother, because Noah Coleman, his son, is a member of ClickMillionaires.com and would like some of your feedback about these two websites. We've got, in fact, a controversy raging in the forum at ClickMillionaires.com trying to discuss how to help commercialize this site. Now, clearly, AmishPhoto.com so far has been designed to emphasize the beautiful imagery of Bill Coleman's photographs. Really nice stuff. The problem is, it isn't selling enough photographs. Given the high quality of this work, the traditional-ish photographer approach of putting a big, pretty picture on the site, well, it's not moving as many units of photographs as Noah and the team at AmishPhoto.com would like. So Noah asked me in a recent coaching call together. We talked privately, and I suggested, well, I'm afraid you might want to make this look a little more like Amazon.com or Buy.com or any of the big retailers and showcase a lot more products. So that's what they did. They've redesigned the site, and your feedback is welcome. Here it is. Look, this is AmishPhoto.com 2.0. A lot more merchandise focused, a lot more product sales focused, and you know what? I bet this is going to sell more units. But back to the controversy for a second, and I want to get your opinion. So far on the forum, we've had two camps. People thinking that the old one is better or the new one is better. Some of the folks have said that the old one, like say Noah, not Noah, but Nate and Tony have both chimed in saying that the design of this one is so superior, they really prefer it. But Nate also pointed out that the new one, well, it has something going for it, and that's functionality. There's a lot more going on in the new one and a lot more photos on the homepage, and that is the product that really Noah is trying to sell. But Dave chimed in and said the new one, well, it looks more shop-like, and I think that's true. In fact, that's what I was advising Noah to do. Nate summed it up saying, really expressing the problem being that it's difficult to cross, I'm quoting here, subtle, tasteful aesthetics with the need to sell things. He said, unless you've found that subtle, tasteful aesthetics make no difference whatsoever and can actually be a detriment to selling, and that maybe no matter what the product, you can always sell more by placing it brashly in the visitor's face. Well, yeah, that's right, Nate. You sell more the more you sell. And unfortunately, that's kind of a fact of life, especially online, where you've only got 2 dimensions and what do you got here? Maybe 11, 12 inches across and 6 or 10 inches high. You've got to jump in their face. Now, I don't know if we need to go all the way to this. This new design is pretty busy. And people in the forum are going back and forth about the pros and cons of each. Now, I directed Noah to head this direction, but let's see if we can find a balance. Something that merchandises these photographs better, but also doesn't cheapen it by making it look too much like, a garage sale or a liquidator. Chuck weighed in for example, on the other side, and he, just to let you know, there are people on both sides of this discussion. Chuck weighed in from Chicago and said, just a quick note, Noah, to let you know that I like your new beta homepage, especially if your intent is to push more products. Bingo, Chuck. It makes me want to buy something, whereas when I look at the current homepage, I don't. And I think Chuck's hit it on the head. This is a beautiful homepage. I'm just not sure it's going to make me buy anything. This, to me, looks like a museum. I come in and I say, wow, what a beautiful photograph. I might go and browse a few more photographs, but that's all I'm going to do. I might look up here at the galleries, and then you'd go see some more photographs, but there isn't a call to action, and that's really key in any website that wants to sell things. And since Noah joined ClickMillionaires.com with the goal of selling more things, we're going to work together to try to commercialize the site, but without going too far to the marketplace and cheapening the look of the site. So let's talk about the new site together. First of all, compliments to Noah's team. This is a very nice looking site, and the new one too. They're doing this all in-house, and this is very well done as well. A little busy, right? We'll talk about that in a second, but really nice work. So let's break it down a little bit. Obviously, it's a lot busier, so I think it might be too busy. We've got some nice branding up here. It's clear what's going on. The photographer is Bill Coleman. It's AmishPhoto.com. Although, no, I might point out, you might capitalize that P so that people the two words together, so it's not Amish Photo, and they don't know what it means. And you've got this really going hard now on the sales thing, and I would be curious to hear if you tried this, whether it really pumped up your sales, because honestly, this is what people are shopping expect today. Now, I think this goes too far, right? You're testing the limits on both sides, and that's why anybody that's watching this video, we'd love your comments in the forum. Noah would like to hear from you. There's a great dialogue going in there. Like I said, Marie, Nate, Tony, Chuck, people from all over the world commenting, trying to help Noah find the balance. So here's my 2 cents. I think this is too much. I mean, this yellow text is really pretty, very eye-catching. I've clearly got the idea there's a sale going on here, but unless this is merchandise you're really looking to liquidate, I think you've gone to the point of looking like you're cheapening the art. I mean, this looks like, hey, I'm just going to wait for the $49 price to me. And of course, we're getting into the territory where everybody has a different opinion. But here's some concrete suggestions, starting at the top. This follow us, I don't know, maybe you do, how active your audience is in social media. I'm sure your web designers are, and they think this is super cool, and it is super cool. But what I'd really like to see up there instead is the email stuff. I'm sure that your audience is active on email because everybody gets email. And email is easier to really close the sale on. So you could leave this site actually a lot more like the previous version over here, if that's what you wanted to do, as long as you captured the emails using something like this. Because then you could sell in the emails consistently. And if you used an autoresponder service, like I think we talked about in our private coaching call, like Aweber, for example, you could hit them again and again with offers that said things like this, but without cheapening the look of the whole site. Okay, so those are two separate points. First is, I don't think social media deserves this much prominence relative to the importance of email in your future marketing. Second point is, if you can get the email list going, autoresponders are a great way to market, especially because then you can do the special stuff like this without making a first-time visitor suddenly think that this is a discount site or that they want to wait until there's another sale. Okay, I hope that's clear. Okay, next, nice big lettering here. I think this is great. Your audience, I'm guessing, is probably an older audience. Anyone who's old enough to appreciate the Amish lifestyle is probably not in their teens and 20s. I'm just guessing. But this big font is great for older folks. I would maybe think about increasing the contrast even more. That's something I always talk about, bigger fonts and higher contrast, but you've done a great job, better than most do when designing like this. Next, all these categories, I think it's a bit much. I know you guys have a lot of categories, obviously. I'm thinking, how about replacing these each with a category? So take, for example, the most popular photo, and that could maybe be this icon. The most popular Amish life one could be this one. The farms and farmhouses could be this one, and maybe make a whole window. I don't know if you could fit all of these, but how about maybe 3 rows of 4 pictures each that represent the first 12 of these categories, or your 12 most popular, and then the rest repeated in text below. That would allow you to take back this column a fair bit so that you don't have redundant navigation on the top and the side. It would also allow you to include these sort of, instead of an individual photo title, you could include something like horse pictures, which would show up in your search engine optimization, would help your site, which you would lose if you lost this categories entirely. But you could replace it over here and have several rows of product-driven photographs. And if your designer is sophisticated enough, or you want to try it, you could even have these rotate and have different ones show up each time the page loads, or even flip over slowly as an animated GIF when people arrive. Could be very eye-catching. Although if you had all 12 of them flipping at the same time, it might get to be a bit much. But I think you get the idea. And then, again, up here, I think this sale thing is fine if you're really going to have a sale. Maybe this is something you do in the fall, and this is temporary, but I think it's a bit much for now. I'd love to see you head back towards something like this, but not quite so much. So in between the two, I guess, is what I'm saying. And that's what I think a lot of people in the forum are saying too. And by the way, if you're watching this and you agree or disagree, please come over to the forum at clickmillionaires.com and tell me and tell Noah. There's no right answer here other than to test the heck out of it. And thanks to Dave in the UK for that tip, because of that, it, of course, is the final answer, and I'll come back to that. Okay, and we've got these. I don't know what minis are, so that's confusing to me. Books and gifts I get. Gift guides, clever. New images, that sounds interesting. I think you could do more with these somehow. I don't have an immediate idea, but at least minis, for example, I don't even know what that is. So that's confusing. If the stuff is limited edition or something like that, I think you could use a sentence or two up here near the top in plain text, which would also help your search engine optimization, that kind of give the story to the new visitor. Let's go back and look at the old one. Did you have something like that? Well, you've got this tagline up here, but something like you've got down here. Bill Coleman's 40-year photographic honors the remote little Amish village. Something, but you notice this doesn't say enough about the photos. I think this kind of idea, but rework it to says, and you can own one for your home or office. I mean, that's pretty cheesy, but that kind of idea, close the deal a little more. And I'd put that up here in plain text, not just in this is. I'm guessing this is all just a JPEG or a PNG or something, an image file, but in text so that the search engines can read it. And make sure your keywords, Amish Photo, are in there, and whatever other keywords you've determined. And put that right either here or across here or kind of both. That will be helpful for your search engine optimization. So let's see, what else? Oh, this search. I mean, is search this important? You've given this a huge box. You could tell from your usage statistics, are people really coming and searching? I know that Bill has a vast 40-year catalog of images, but is that how people are using the site, or are you trying to promote that? Because you're giving this really prime real estate. I'd rather see, I mean, if you want to keep this design without rewire framing everything, a line about, hey, get this, back to school special, click here, or like a scrolling ticker or something. But really, I think this line doesn't need to be this big, and I'd kind of rework this header to be about email. These don't need to be quite so big, although I'm fond of big fonts, like I said. And put your tagline in there with some keywords so that the site gets off to a good start, both for humans that say, oh, that's what the site is about. I get it now, including the keyword Amish photos, and also so that the search engines can pick that stuff up. And then maybe, this is just my idea, but translating all of these into category headers here. Down for a little further, I like this gift guide. I think that's very nice. These don't look, at least in this mock-up, clickable. So I don't know if you might want to underline those or add some call to action that says click on these categories and encourage people to do something. What you don't have anywhere here, really, is buy. You don't have a call to action, and that's my biggest point. You have a back-to-school sale. Oh, I'm sorry, there's one there. Click here. Okay, but it's in such nice font I didn't even see it. I would underline that or maybe use a graphic. I think all the links, I know it's kind of cheesy and old school, but why not underline these? That's what people expect. And I know designers don't like to do that because it seems kind of like they should just know it's a link. But if you're trying to sell stuff, you don't want them to have to think at all. At all. So I still like to underline things. Let's see, what else? Oh, top sellers. I wanted to mention that. And you have that up here. The other way to crack this nut of having so many categories is your most popular. Put the most popular ones here. If you don't like the idea of doing 12 or 16 photos, you could do most popular. Everybody likes to be in on the what's most popular. It's at least a good way to go. And if you want to take one of these merchandising approaches, you might say 10% off on the most popular ones if you sign up for the mailing list. And that's my point here about the mailing list. The special offers are nice, but it's kind of vague. I don't think it's that hard for you to pick one. Even if it's only 5% off, and I'll bet you could do 10% off or a free something. Put it in there. Special offers is nice, but specifics of I get this if I do that, that's a lot better. A lot better. Okay, and then just two more. One is this. I know obviously this is about the Amish and not about Bill. But if this is really Bill Coleman's AmishPhoto.com, how about a picture of Bill? Bill's a nice looking guy. Maybe there's one that you could share of him. There's probably going to be one in here on the About Bill page, but it wouldn't hurt to have a smiling face of him somewhere here just to personalize it. You've got a big enough catalog of strong enough images. I guess he doesn't need to be right here, but it couldn't hurt, honestly. And it couldn't hurt. Even easier might be put it down here. Even with a little, how about a quote from Bill? I mean, this is nice. Cheryl W. had something nice to say. But how about a quote from Bill with his smiling face? I love the Amish love me, participate in my lovely journey with these beautiful people and their simple life and bring it into your home today. Or something. I made that up, obviously, but something like that personalizes this a little and brings Bill into the picture because you've led with that concept and yet Bill's nowhere here. A little personality, I think, would be helpful. And then last, I wanted to comment, Marie in the forum brought up a huge point. It's literally huge because it's about size. And I noticed this before, and I'm really glad she brought it out, and everybody agreed with her. These sites are too thin. Look at all this space. This is a standard width that I'm filming in here. You've got a full inch on my screen over here, and more than an inch over here. And then on the newer version, you've stepped that up a little. It's a little wider, but at least according to me, I think you've got another half an inch easily, and that makes a real difference with these images. If you could get rid of this, unless you think this is important, but it seems distracting to me, this and then widen it out, each of these photographs could be probably a good 30% wider, which also means taller, which means a lot more impact fast. So those are some of my suggestions. I thank you for listening. I'd love to hear what you think. Noah, Nate, Chuck, Marie, Dave, everybody, and especially you if you haven't participated yet, head over to the clickmillionaires.com forum and let me know what you think, and let Noah what you think. Let him know what you think too. I'm talking too fast here today. The last solution, of course, I mentioned, I would say this again. Dave from the UK suggested the best way to figure it out is to test it. And I don't know if you have the capabilities to run both. That can get pretty complicated. But watching the click-through rates on both is really the only way to know what really works for your audience on a personalized basis. So I hope that's helpful to you. I'm Scott Fox from clickmillionaires.com. Noah, I hope this helps you and AmishPhoto.com make a lot more money. Come on over to the forum yourself and chime in if you're a clickmillionaires.com member. And if you're not, well, come to clickmillionaires.com and join us. We've got the worldwide friendliest community of online marketing and on e-commerce entrepreneurs on the web. And I'm there myself all the time helping out with friendly advice just like this. And if you would like to buy a review like this, well, you can go to expertwebsitereviews.com and order one. They're very inexpensive. Or join clickmillionaires.com and you'll get a review of your website just like this for free. Thanks for watching. I'm Scott Fox. Have a great day. I hope to see you online real soon.